Hi, I'm Greg. Now welcome to the first in our 4-part series on weight loss. The information that I'm going to share with you today is basically the same information that I give to people that come to see me in our clinic. Now what I thought we'd look at today is our diet. So there's a lot of foods that can confuse people. So people go, oh, I don't understand, and this food makes me fat and this food makes me thin and that diet makes me fat and this diet makes me thin. So big maze for some people to meander through. So what I thought we'd look at is not focus on diet per se, but what certain food groups do in your body when you eat them. So there's basically 3 food groups. There's protein, there's fats, and there's carbohydrates. So if we just look at protein, the protein encompasses a wide range of foods. So there's red and white meats, there's seafood, there's vegetarian sources such as soy and tofu, but you've got legumes, pulses and beans and nuts and seeds. They all contain good protein. You've got dairy products such as cheese and whey and yogurt. You've got eggs. So wide range of food. If we look at what protein does in your body, it basically is the building blocks of life, because every protein contains amino acids, and it's those amino acids that build and repair damaged tissue and regenerate new cells. But not only do they do that, they are very important for the detoxification pathways in your body, so especially your liver and your kidneys. But they also repair, say, if you've got damage to the intestinal wall, it's protein that does that repair work. But protein not only does that, protein also builds muscle, so muscle's very important for weight loss, because the more muscle you have, the more fat you burn. But it also makes sex hormones. It's also required to make sex hormones and immune cells and other hormones throughout the body. So it does a lot, and it is very important. But there's protein and there's protein. So I've just mentioned those foods, but some bad sources of protein are going to be your luncheon meats, your stuff you get from your supermarket or your takeaway shop or your deli. Those luncheon meats, the Devons, the chicken breasts, the turkey breasts that are just like a round thing with a whole heap of flavour added to it. You've got your roast meat, so not very good sources of protein, because it's just pre-packaged with a whole heap of other rubbish. So the next food group is your fats. Now again, fats encompass a wide range of foods. So you've got your nuts and seeds that we mentioned before, you've got eggs that contain fat, you've also got your animal meats that contain fat, but you've also got your vegetable oils such as your olive oil, your macadamia oil, your rice bran oil, but you've got fats in your omega-3 fats, which come in your seafood, but they also come in your flaxseed or your linseed, your chia seed and hemp seed oils as well. So fats are really important for the body. People always shy away from fat because they think fat is going to make them fat, but it doesn't. There's certain fats, especially the ones in nuts and seeds, and avocados and coconuts are another good source of fat. So that fat there as well. So the fats in nuts and seeds and the avocados and your olive oils and your rice bran oils and your omega-3s and your seafood. What they actually do is they actually help your cells open their door and spew all their fat out into the bloodstream, which your body then uses as energy, right? So not only does fat do that, but fat also surrounds every single cell in your body. It waterproofs it. Like it waterproofs your skin, it transports all of your essential vitamins, your fat-soluble vitamins throughout the body, which is A, E, D and K. It is required to protect your central nervous system, so it helps produce your myelin sheath, which surrounds all your nerves. And 60 to 70% of the fat in your body is in your brain, right? So you don't have a good amount of fat in your body, you're a bit dopey and you don't think that well. That's why people say with ADD or ADHD that have that cognitive problem, they say give those kids fish oil and they dramatically improve their concentration and their learning. It's very, very important in the body. It's very important to help produce all of your brain chemicals. So people that are low in serotonin, they might not necessarily have a problem with serotonin, they might not have enough fat in their brain, enough omega-3 fat in their brain, right? So fat's very, very important. There is also bad fats, so your margarine and your trans fatty acids, they're bad fats, and like a lot of your hydrogenated vegetable oils and vegetable shortening, anything that says that, very bad fats, and they'll have a very detrimental effect on your body. The third food group is carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates are primarily used in your body as energy, and they encompass a wide range of foods. They encompass any white flour product and any sugar product. So breads and pastas and cakes and biscuits and chocolates and chips and soft drinks and beer and those sort of things. But they've also got grains, so your white rice, your brown rice, your basmati rice, all of the rices, your wheats, all of those things also contain carbohydrates. Now the problem is that with our Western diet, we seem to eat more carbohydrates than we do beneficial foods. Fruit and veg also fall into the carbohydrate category as well, but they're a very good source of carbohydrates. Sorry if I'm confusing you, confusing myself. So carbohydrates, what happens in the body when you eat carbohydrates is that no matter whether they're white or they're brown, they're broken down, just different time frames, to substances called glucose. Now glucose is a sugar. Now, that sugar is really important for your body to use as energy. So what happens is that when the glucose goes into the bloodstream, your pancreas secretes insulin. Now, insulin comes along and it grabs hold of that glucose molecule and it takes it to a cell. So let's say it takes it to the bicep cell on your arm. And what it does, it kind of knocks on that cell's door and it goes, and the cell goes, oh, beauty, Meals on Wheels. And it opens up the door and that glucose goes in there and that cell uses that glucose as its food source, as its energy source. The problem occurs if we have a Western diet where we overeat and eat a lot of carbohydrates, or we sit on our backsides all day and we don't move, and we still eat carbohydrates, we have the sugar cravings, or we get this thing called insulin resistance, where our cells don't recognise the knocking on the door from the insulin and the glucose, so they just go, and they start to starve. And then you get all these other problems, and you crave more carbohydrates. And it perpetuates and it perpetuates. But one of the problems is that too much glucose in the body, what it does, it can damage your kidneys, cause diabetes, cause blindness, gangrene, definitely feeds cancer. So sugar is the big cancer feeder. Glucose is the big cancer feeder. So the body goes, oh, this is not good. So what it does, it converts it to a substance called palmitic acid, or otherwise known as fat. Right? So the more of these carbs you eat, the more you're growing, and the fatter you're getting. Right, so maybe if we start to look at our diet and go, okay, carbohydrates are really important for me, so why don't I eat the carbohydrates that I know are important? So I'll eat the carrots and the cucumber and the zucchinis and the apples and the pears and the bananas. Those foods are carbohydrates because they contain the sugar, but they also contain a mountain of vitamins and minerals and other essential phytonutrients to help keep your body young and healthy and help a whole heap of other processes in your body. So because if your white bread's got nothing in it, it's just a nutrient dead food. Same with your white rice, it's a nutrient dead food. Brown rice is a multivitamin. So if we start to eliminate those foods, cut down the breads and the pasta and the cakes and biscuits and chocolates and chips, have more of the protein and the vegetables and the nuts and the seeds and the fruits, your body starts to go, oh, this is good. I need energy. So your muscle cells, they lose all their energy, and then your liver has a stored energy of glucose, so it disappears and your body goes, well, where am I going to get the energy from? And it goes, oh, hang on, I can use fat as energy. So what it does, it goes, I've got enough fat to keep me going. So it starts to eat your stomach and your bum and your thighs and your hips, and you start to shrink, right? So really, really important to get an understanding that maybe the way you're eating is causing your problem, and it's the carbohydrates that convert it to glucose, that if your body doesn't need that glucose, it starts to expand and grow. Right, so forget the low-fat diet, forget the luncheon meats, get the fat into your diet, get the protein into your diet. Don't care whether it's vegetarian or animal products, but cut down the carbs. That's the big thing. Cut down the carbs, the breads and the pastas, the cakes, biscuits, chocolates, chips and lollies. If you're going to go for soft drink, forget it. Just don't bother. Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi and all those diet drinks are full of chemicals, so they're no good for you. They might have the sugar in them, but they're still no good for you. Right. Anyway, look, if you'd like more information, go to the web page on the bottom of the screen for more information on weight loss. If you would like to join up to Greg Newson TV, by all means, go into that, because we're going to be uploading a whole heap of health topics. As I say, we're doing a 4-part series on weight loss. We're going to look at detoxification, gut problems, liver problems, immune problems, the whole lot. So join up, and every time there's a new topic, you'll get an email on it. Anyway, until next time, I'm Greg. Have a wonderful day.